niche actually in demand right now? This video is a ranked ordering of 12 video editing niches from best to worst in terms of my combined opinion of the career outlook, job demand, and overall average job pay. Number 12 is church-based content. I think that if your church is looking for someone to help with video production, that is a great idea. That's a great way to get your foot in the door to get some experience under your belt with either video production or video editing. However, unless your church is a mega church, they may have smaller budgets and may depend on more volunteer-based work, which brings that average job pay down significantly. But of course, if you are passionate about that niche and you want to help your local community and your local church, again, that is a great option and a great starting place just to get your foot in the door and learn a lot about the craft of video production. Number 11, music videos. The pro of getting into this space is that it is absolutely a great way to flex your creative muscle. It can be really fun and it can get you some really good portfolio work. But number one, unless you are editing for some major clients, the work can often be lower budget. And number two, frankly, the competition is kind of fierce. The music industry is full of self-starters. So unless you are prepared to wear a lot of different hats and do a lot of different jobs, your job may be overtaken or not even be available because the director of the music video is also the editor of the music video, is also the bass player in the music video. Number 10, wedding. Wedding work can pay quite well. And depending on the time of year, there may be a large amount of freelance work available. But editing expectations might be pretty high. It also might be difficult to work your way into this space, given that you may be working directly with the videographers or the company owners that are working with the person getting married. And ultimately, you as the editor is taking money away from their company if they outsource to you. So you are dependent on them. They are dependent on the event timing and the season, and they are going to be giving you notes from their own expectations as well as potentially even the client's expectations. So overall, unless you have an in with a particular company, it can be kind of a tricky niche to get into, and it is kind of hard to scale yourself up from this unless you're going to start a wedding video business. News broadcasting. I distinctly remember applying for a job maybe 10 years ago at this point in the news industry. And I had a phone interview and the interviewer was basically trying to get me to reject the job. He was telling me every possible reason why I should not take this job. Low pay, long hours, high demand, high stress. I think it is great that he was super honest because the news industry is very high stress, but unless you are really passionate about journalism and being in the news industry, I think it can be a pretty tough niche to get into. And I do believe that the pay probably is still quite low, at least to start out with, as well as the fact that cable news TV is kind of a declining thing. Number 8, sports broadcasting. This is a bit of a specialty niche. There's definitely a special way to edit for sports broadcasting. You may be needing to get comfortable with After Effects on a really serious level, working with templates and a lot of motion graphics. There also may be really fast turnaround times, given that sports is a very fast turnaround industry. And I do believe that there is kind of a fast turnaround in terms of the people working for sports. And maybe that just depends on the company. But every time I turn around, my local football or hockey stadium is hiring for a new video production associate. So take with that what you will. And if you are in the sports industry, I would love for you to comment below on your insights into this. Number 7, real estate. Now there definitely is demand for this. Real estate agents and property owners and property companies in general are definitely always looking for better ways that they can sell their properties. Video is the best way to showcase anything in these days. However, the budgets have a potential to be lower for this kind of work, and it is a bit of a saturated niche for freelance work. So it may not be the best niche to get into right now, unless you have a direct contact that you know that is actually looking for your help with their real estate business. If we haven't met yet, I am Colleen, and in this channel, I help you to get a video editing job and I help you get paid doing what you love. So for more tips on that, as well as just to support my channel, I'd so appreciate it if you can hit the like button below and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And for more details on all of my Skillshare classes, including my newest one, all about mastering your niche, as well as to get a free month of Skillshare, definitely check out the link in the description below. Film and TV. If you can reach a union level gig or a large level production and you are a video editor on a film and TV industry job, cheers to you. That pay has a high ceiling, and so you can make really good money doing this. Now, I will say there is pretty stiff competition because everybody wants that pay, especially currently right now in this climate. The film and TV industry is struggling in terms of editors getting jobs, and that job growth outlook is also kind of modest. Also, if you do want a job in this niche, you're better off moving to a large city like New York or LA. And of course, that adds a whole other layer. The fact that the job potentially cannot be remote is going to be a huge factor in you choosing that niche. If you do decide that you want to pursue that niche, I would highly encourage you to check out the role of a post PA, what that all entails, and try to put your feelers out there for a post PA position rather than a video editor position, because that is how you're going to get your foot in the door in an industry like that. Social media, it's literally everywhere. And not only is it everywhere, all of these niches can be a sub niche of social media because every company is looking for video and every company is looking to get on social media. However, this is its own niche because of the volume of work. The quality is often slightly lower, the deadlines are tighter, it's got less prestige than some of these other niches. And the biggest flaw in the social media space right now is that the pay is extremely weak. Because social media and video editing have melded together and made video editing very accessible for everyone, the value of needing a good social media editor has gone way down. And thus, a lot of clients are paying mere pennies to get their social media video editor. As someone in the social media space, I don't necessarily disagree. I do think that my job is definitely undervalued. I think the strategy here is to get in with a larger company that has the budget to fund a social media video editor at the rate that you deserve, or potentially even better, a small to mid-sized company that has a large enough budget that you can grow with that company as their social media video editor as they grow and increase their budget. YouTube, similar space. Every niche kind of also can live within YouTube. And the demand is incredibly strong. But same problem with social media, because everyone has access to video editing software and so many content creators are also their own video editors, the value for a video editor has become lessened and thus the pay has gone down or stagnated. Many editors in the YouTube and social media space are freelance and they absolutely work on smaller budgets. And the best strategy, I believe, is to get in with a content creator that trusts you, that can rely on you, that is obviously looking to grow their channel, grow with that content creator, and then over time, fight for better pay so that you can make your YouTube niche work long-term for yourself. Number 3, documentary. Now, I originally had documentary a lot further down on the list, but I decided to move it up because the demand for documentary is quite high in this era. I think that as much as Netflix is in its villain era, it has a good point when it is putting out such a serious amount of documentaries. I think that Netflix knows what it's doing, and if the people want documentary, then we give documentary, and that means more work for documentary video editors. Now, documentary video editing is tough. Obviously, if you have ever watched a documentary, it is a huge amount of file management, found footage collection, so much cross editing, creating meaning out of nothing. There is so much work that goes into documentary editing. Thus, it can be also another undervalued niche because the output is high, but with platforms like YouTube and Netflix overtaking the documentary niche, both of those platforms are devaluing video editors, or at the very least creating poor work environments with such a high demand, high output, tight deadline work process. So I do think it can be quite a fulfilling and interesting niche to get into, but similar to news broadcasting, it is not for the faint of heart. You may find yourself in a pretty tough work environment. So just make sure that it is a niche that you are passionate about. Number 2, marketing. I feel like this goes a little bit hand in hand with social media. If you want to make money in the social media space, get into marketing. Because like I was just saying, companies are on the rise for looking for ways to obviously get ahead of the competition, and they're always looking for ways to put themselves out there in terms of video and brand awareness. But that involves you understanding what that business requires, and what that business normally requires is marketing focused. Not every business wants you to just come into their office and shoot fun videos like you're the Duolingo account. So understanding how to sell a product, how to work with a company to make sure the video serves them. But the pro of this being that working as a video editor in the marketing space can lead to some pretty stable income for you, as marketing is never going to go away. And very similarly, a space that's never going to go away anytime soon, number one is corporate, because this niche pays well, provides stability, and the demand is growing as businesses constantly need more and more video to showcase their products, to showcase internal messages like training and internal communication, as well as branded content. If you are looking for the highest paid niche, look no further than corporate video editing. Sometimes it can be boring. Actually, most times it probably is. But if you are looking for a stable, potentially 9-to-5 video editing career, I would look no further than local corporations in your city and see what kind of demand they have for video and video production. So, do you agree with this list? Are you in any of these niches and you have your own insights? Is there a niche that I totally forgot that you are in and you have some insights about? I would love to hear all of your thoughts in the comments below. Again, be sure to subscribe for more tips on video editing and freelance lifestyle. Thank you so much to my team. Again, I am Colleen, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have the best one.